I drove out yesterday to buy a few dust cans for my computer, and I went to buy an extension cord because my mom was telling me how she got this new printer and wanted me to set it up. And when I was doing that, I realized the cord is too small for what she wants it to be. So it's just computer shopping day, right? So when I was in the store, I went down one of the aisles, and I can't explain this too well, but the side of my eye sort of caught the side of this girl's face. And for some reason, it felt very familiar to me. I don't know if I'm having deja vu or something. Hey, I've been in the store at least over 100 times. It's my go-to tech store. Maybe something else going on, right? So whatever. I get my extension cord and I get the dust cans. And as I'm leaving, this same woman is on the line. But I can only see the back of her head from my position in the line. Even from the back of her head, I felt like I recognized her. So she goes to the cashier and buys her stuff. And I didn't get to see her face once during the whole time. And as she turns, we match eyes. And she's like, Andre? And I'm like, oh, you know who this chick is? Man, listen, this is a valuable lesson from this story here. When I had my old job, I was the youngest person there. I was like 18 or 19, and she was 19. I know she was always older than me, like just like a year or so, right? And everyone else at the job was like 30 plus. We were the youngins, right? And I didn't really get that close to her, but we hung out outside of work, us and the coworkers. They made like an indoor trampoline event, and it was fun, right? We all hang out, we all do goofy stuff. And I'm thinking about it now. It was such good times back then. One time at the job, she gave me a teddy bear. It was Christmas time and she gave me a gift, but we never got romantic or anything because it was policy at the job. It was a rule. You cannot date or be married or anything to anyone within the same department. Several things. One, I'm not trying to lose my job over some Gucci. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm not getting married. Two, I got to be honest. I don't think she's very attractive, to me at least. There's just too many factors why I'm not interested, right? Now, this is someone who I considered a girl friend. You know what I'm saying? So what happened was at my old job, she moved somewhere else in the building during our shift. She got promoted. And because of her new qualifications, she started hanging out with some of the other dudes and the other people that she was working with. And I noticed something. This one dude at the job, in her place now where she got promoted to, her and him, they kept having alone time. Like they'll sit in the office together, like just them. And it'll be kind of weird. Like they'll leave together for lunch during breaks. And I didn't really think anything of it besides, oh, she moved on from us. She made new friends. It is what it is. We still the low lives down here. Hey, she got promoted. She deserved it. Hey, whatever. Now, man, about 6 months later, I get the same promotion as her. You had to like take a qualification test or whatever. And I passed. So then I moved to the same department as her. And this same guy I'm talking about, we became work buddies. He was excited to have me back here. He would show me the ropes. He would tell me what not to do to prevent myself to, make people think I'm somebody who makes mistakes. And he was really honing my skill set. And I really liked this guy. Now, the girl, her schedule changed where she only showed up to work like twice a week because school, right? I honestly think the only reason why I got that promotion, the qualification, was because she had to be more absent because of school. So now they pick someone else up to take her spot in a sense, right? So here I am. And it's just life goes on. You know what I'm saying? Life goes on. So one day, one of the coworkers was like, Andre, yo, it's Sean's birthday this weekend, right? We're having a party at his house. Can you be there? And I said, birthday at Sean's house? Sure. And Sean is just another random coworker, by the way. So boom, the weekend shows up and I drive to the house party. This guy has a basement apartment and it's kind of squished, right? So it's a very small basement apartment. So there were like 35 people down here though, in this cramped, squished apartment. Music blasting, there's smoke everywhere because people are smoking, right? Alcohol in almost everyone's hand. I felt like if I looked hard enough, I saw some cocaine on the table. So I walked past it. I didn't really look at anybody. I just walked through, right? Because so many people in this cramped area and it's smoke everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So I go up to Sean, I give him a hug and I say, happy birthday. And I go hang out with some of the other coworkers because, there's a bunch of random people I don't know here and they're all smoking and drinking stuff like that. So I'm going to go with the familiar crowd. And someone makes me a drink. drinking, I kind of get lit. Since I'm kind of tipsy or drunk, I feel a little bit more complicated. So confident rather. So I'm starting to go around the room and talk a little bit more to people, right? And one of my coworkers, he starts getting really intimate with this girl. Like they're having like a face-to-face, close face-to-face conversation. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, what? And this is what's so crazy about this. This guy told me, this same exact guy, he told me he doesn't like black women. And he's there shooting his shot at a black woman. So listen, she was pretty though. I don't know if he was drunk or he doesn't see color anymore now or whatever. I don't know. Okay, you say you don't date black women, so I don't know what's going on here, right? So I left him alone. The worst thing you could do while your friend is flirting with somebody is stand right in front of them as the third wheel in the conversation. Just, let them work the game. You feel me? Leave them alone. So I go into the other room and behold, I see the girl and the same coworker who she's been spending a lot of alone time with, who I told you has been honing my skills and helping me out. They're making out. And I'm like, hold on. And I didn't say that verbally, but I looked at them and they saw me and they just smiled and they kept going. I was astonished. Now, it all makes sense. This is interesting. This is interesting. And it's interesting because this same guy, we knew that he wanted to become a manager at the department, right? So rather, he is, in my opinion, even when he was nice to me, before I even truly met him, I always felt like he was a bootlicker. He was a brown noser. And he gets a lot into the politics of the workplace. You know what I'm saying? He's one of those influential guys. So this is what's been going on the whole time they were dating. But I guess they're keeping it a secret from the managers and the bosses. And I feel like that's appropriate because if they knew, how's he going to get the manager position if he's violating company policy? Get what I'm saying? Now, about 5 months later after this party into the job, this same guy randomly starts to get resentful of me. Well, I don't want to say randomly. Again, I was 18 or 19. I was very naive at that time. I didn't really take things serious at the job. I was also very irresponsible. I was good at my job, but I sometimes felt like it was too much work. I got lazy when I got comfortable. Honestly, I'll be truthful here. I'll take accountability. And he started giving me the silent treatment at times. He would refuse to interact with me, and he never explained to me why. It just, one day I came into work and he's just cold to me. And I even asked him one time and he said there's nothing going on. So I'm thinking to myself, there's probably some drama going on that I'm unaware of. Did I do something? I don't know. And the only times he would interact with me was to shout at me when I made a mistake or roll his eyes and shake my head and grunt or something like, come on, man. Like that, that's the only interactions, like zero positive interactions with me anymore. So whatever I did, whether it's my own laziness or whatever, I never gave anyone an attitude back or anything. You know what I'm saying? I'm not that type of person, even when I was younger. So I really don't know at this point. So one day I see the girl at work during our break. This was one of the days she was able to work because Meritory School was keeping her busy. And I'm like, hey, what's up? I haven't seen you in so long. How's school and all that stuff? And she said, everything is going good and, blah, blah, blah. And she says, look at this. And she shows me her finger. She had an engagement ring on. And I'm like, oh, congratulations. You're not newly engaged. Hey, you feel me? And then I was like, wait, does the manager know? Do the bosses know? Like, that's, yeah, there's a problem here. It's company policy, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to say anything, but like, do they know? Because you're walking around with an engagement ring on. Like, what's going on here? And she says, well, yeah, I don't know if they do really know, but I'm transferring to another department. But it annoys me. We're just coworkers. It's a stupid policy. We're just coworkers. And I said to her, yeah, it is kind of silly. I mean, I barely see you two together anyway at the job. Actually, speaking of him, he's been really or very mean to me lately. And she's like, yeah, he doesn't like you. And I said, why? Like, I've only been nice to the guy. Like, I don't understand. Why does he dislike me? And he said, he doesn't want me to tell you. So in my head, think about what she just said. He doesn't want me to tell you. That means they spoke about me. They had a discussion about it. Whatever they discussed, it is likely unreasonable. Hence why she won't tell me and he won't tell me. So this is when I realized whatever made this guy resentful over me, it's probably not the work I'm doing. There's something else going on. So maybe I insulted him at one time. Maybe I don't know what I did. So I don't know. So I remember sitting down in the break room after that conversation and I went through my text messages. Last time I spoke to her, it was maybe 2 or 3 months ago. And the conversation we had was a very bonding conversation. She was venting to me about school, how stressed she is about money. She's worried about her parents because they don't want her to move out with this guy. You know what I'm saying? It's the stuff random we all go through. You know what I'm saying? And I'm simply giving her emotional support. It's a long text message conversation. We were talking for like 4 hours. And there was nothing wrong with the conversation. Like I said, I was rereading it. I didn't flirt with her. I didn't do anything suggestive. It was just, hey, how are you? I'm going through a lot. And here comes the long venting and the conversation, the support, right? Now, this guy was so mean to me, clearly resented me, hated working with me, that we would silent treatment each other. Like I would show up to work. I wouldn't even say hi to him. Just, that's it. We pretend we don't exist, but I feel he's got tension. And he would give me terrible looks. And as time went on, I still working on his job. I just, it's just one of the things. I just won't talk to this guy, right? A lot of the guys who I got hired with or who was at the job when I got hired, they quit or moved to another department, or we just didn't hang out anymore. It was nothing related to political. It was just like, hey, listen, I'm just moving on to another thing. You know what I'm saying? I gotta get another job. Also, at this time period, I was busy doing school outside of work. So we all sort of got distant. I didn't have time to hang out. And I put my notice that I was going to leave the job. Like, I just don't want to do this anymore. I appreciate the payment. I got paid very well. The benefits were great, but I feel uncomfortable a little bit because this guy who wants to be a manager is being mean to me and nobody is doing anything about it. And everyone's seeing it too. And I feel like I'm being kind of humiliated. And, I could tell he's being toxic behind the scenes too. And I felt lonely at this job because everyone else is pretty much gone. I thought maybe I should just solely focus on school and apply elsewhere. Again, I'm 18 or 19 at this time. I'm a kid. Now, nowadays, if this happened now, I would never quit because of this. I'm grown enough to be less sensitive about that, but you live and you learn, right? And speaking of growing up and realizing things, later on, I realized what happened. I have a question for any guy listening or watching this video, any guy, right? This may sound toxic and unhealthy, but let's be reasonable. Let's be realistic. And also some of you may not understand this feeling if you never dated somebody or this has never happened to you. But fellas, would you be okay if you're dating somebody and she goes to another man for emotional support and comfort? I'll be honest. Me personally, I'm not really feeling it. If my girl started talking to some dude and that was her emotional support, I would be unhappy. I understand. That's probably a bad sign of me as a boyfriend, because if she can't go to me for support, she goes to another man for emotional support. What you can't provide here, she finds in another man. So maybe I need to change or do something better. I don't know. But, at times when people do that, though, when they go to somebody else for emotional support or they find something that you're not providing, that's the first step to somebody dating somebody else and leaving you. All of a sudden, this new, quote, friend and emotional support is next up in line, right? So I think what happened was when her and I were texting and I was being her emotional support, I think she may have read the messages. Not she. I think he may have read her text messages on her phone. Rather, our previous ones. Remember, that's why I mentioned this. She got me a teddy bear. And I remember texting her about that before. Whatever. He's very justified to feel I'm a threat. No, I'm not one. I'm not going to steal his girl, but I understand why he feels resentful towards me. He may also be annoyed that I know that they're dating. Remember, nobody's supposed to know that at the job. You know what I'm saying? It's not, it's just it's just not allowed in the same department or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, because someone can snitch to the managers and the bosses. I knew though. Maybe he thought, maybe he doesn't trust me or something. Maybe he thought I was going to snitch. So not only is his girl sending me a teddy bear and I'm giving her emotional support one time, just one time, he feels there's too much going on with me. I felt like he could have just spoke to me about it instead of holding a grudge. But yo, think about this from a bigger picture. This is why you shouldn't date coworkers, because this exact stuff happens. It's not just, oh, don't date coworkers because if you guys break up or there's some drama, now it's like a bigger problem and now everyone's dragged into it at work. That may be true. But this drama and the politics, also, people end up flirting with your girl or some dude or whatever. Like, people just be having full-blown families and relationships, but also have a work relationship. There's literally no benefit to this, to dating a coworker. Besides, if you want to be, if you already have a relationship, because like I said, some people have whole families and stuff, and then they got a relation. People just be flirting at work, bro. Like, you got like a work girlfriend and a girlfriend at home, a work boyfriend and a boyfriend at home. Like, bro, like it's just, this just sets things up for drama to happen. You get what I'm saying? So when I saw her at the store yesterday, it all flashed back to me. I didn't even say much to her, by the way. She said, entree? And I said, hey, nice to see you. And then I went right to the cash register and paid for my stuff. I had nothing else to say. I made sure I didn't want to talk. I'm not mad at her or anything, but it's like, man, what a memory. Going through all this. Listen, moral of the story, y'all. Don't talk to someone else's shorty, because people get mad like that. I don't feel like I did anything wrong necessarily, but I get it. I really do. I think this guy is very petty though, for, you know, for creating this hatred towards me because of that, but whatever. And don't date coworkers, y'all. If you can make it work, hey, it is what it is. But there's so many challenges to face in the future if anything goes wrong or any sort of drama happens. This episode is found on Spotify and YouTube. Times Square.
Nightmare 7 a.m. in the morning though. No surprise. Times Square's you and I under those lights. No disguise. Don't tell me everything you wanted was a lie. All those city lights, it's an endless night. Never expected you to bring me so much life. Close my eyes too long, then it's time to say goodbye. Let's dance all night until the stars don't show glow. Till the sunrise, then we go solo. Making up for all the times that we were low. Let's make some memories before we do go. Let's dance all night until the stars don't show glow. Till the sunrise, then we go solo. Making up for all the times that we were low. Let's make some memories before we do go. Caution. Wait a moment, keep my heart locked away, it's filled with emotion. Gave the key to you, right in front of you is open. Hey, try your best to not leave it broken. Oh, it's been a while since you know it's frozen. Not the